Hi there. I'm so glad to have you join me today for this digital devotional. It's always great to be together like this. You know, sometimes in the darkest nights, even the smallest light feels like a lifeline. One flicker of hope can change the way we endure in the darkness. You know, in my younger days, I was quite an adventurous thrill seeker. One time, while doing some rigorous caving, I became lost. The batteries in my headlamp died, and I became stuck in the darkness hundreds of feet below the surface. Not sure which way to go and uncertain if I could even move, I became overwhelmed with panic. And that's the worst thing to experience in such a moment. But suddenly, I caught the faint flicker of a buddy's headlamp. That small beam of light was enough. It was all the encouragement that I needed to know I could move ahead, to know I was not alone, and it gave me the clarity about which way to wiggle on through these caves. So whether it's spelunking or simply strolling through life, each of us needs the ray of God's light to pierce the darkness of our lives. The psalmist in Psalm 42 verse 8 says this, "By day the Lord directs his love. At night, his song is with me, a prayer to the God of my life." So far in this psalm, after waves of sorrow and despair, this verse offers a beautiful turn. The psalmist reminds himself that God's steadfast love is not absent. It's constant, day and night. By day, the Lord's covenantal love leads him. By night, God gives him a song, even in the darkness. Notice how personal this is. God's love is not just an idea, it is actively directed toward the psalmist. In the song at night, this isn't mere positive thinking. It's a reminder that even in the loneliest hours, God gives his people reasons to sing. And then the psalmist calls God the God of my life. That's covenantal language. Even when he feels downcast, even when circumstances seem overwhelming, he clings to God as the one true source and sustainer of his life. Now, maybe your days feel heavy, and your nights maybe even heavier. Psalm 42 verse 8 encourages us to look for the faithful presence of God in both the light and the darkness. His love is not bound by time or circumstances, so whether in broad daylight or in midnight shadows, his grace holds us. One practical step, so turn your nighttime worries into prayers and even songs. Whisper back to God his promises that he's made in Scripture. Let his word give you a melody when your heart feels weak. God's love is a steady rhythm in our lives, day and night, constant and sure. And even when you feel surrounded by darkness, his song can be with you, carrying you through, piercing the darkness with the rays of his glorious light. Friends, I'll see you next time.